House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business.
is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. More and more states are enacting laws to expand gambling, whether it be sports betting, online casinos, or online poker. Gambling operators are hoping to entice new customers to their games. How gaming companies attract new customers and which states will be expanding their gambling market? That's what we're going to find out from our guest Adam Small from USBets.com and Better Collective. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Money always matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right, money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. That's why we say money matters. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
We were being audited. We couldn't sleep. We called Tax Solutions Now.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-297-9788. 800-297-9788.
Psst. Yeah, you. Come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Where was the house? Where was the House of Cards?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. House of Cards is brought to you by PointsBet. Sign up using our promo code HOUSE and you'll receive 4 risk-free bets up to $1,000. Don't wait and sign up today. Awesome daily promos, odds boosters you won't find anywhere else, early payout promos. It's all at PointsBet.com. And make sure you use our promo code HOUSE to get this special sign-up offer. PointsBet. Bets you won't believe, moments you'll never forget. The gambling business is always evolving. How and where gaming companies conduct business is always changing. And as always, to help us keep up to date on what's going on in the gambling world, we are lucky to talk with Adam Small from USBets.com and Better Collective, who is joining us on the phone right now. Adam, thanks for coming on.
Hey, it's good to be back.
It's always great to have you. And I was very impressed because yesterday, by the time we're taping this, it was yesterday, you were doing a panel at the SBC Digital Summit, and it was regarding a very important topic in the gambling world, and that topic is affiliates. It's a familiar term for you and me and people who work in the gambling industry, or should be a familiar term for people who work in the gambling industry. But for people who are not part of the gaming business, what do we mean by when we say someone's an affiliate?
Yeah, good question. And I think it's something I jump over too often in conversations and end up losing people when I'm talking about what my businesses do. So affiliates are performance-based marketers, meaning that unlike when you watch a television show and see a commercial, and that commercial is typically paid for by an advertiser who's paying for how many eyes are going to see that commercial, or trying to estimate that and estimate what kind of eyes, what segments those eyes are in, etc. In affiliate marketing or performance-based marketing, you're paid based on actual customer generation. So in the case of, for example, online gambling affiliation, we get paid when we send actual customers through links on our site to gambling operators. And in some cases, people get paid a flat fee for each customer they send. In other cases, they get paid a percentage of revenue that customer generates for the gambling operator. And so this has been a form of marketing that's been around for a long time in the gambling industry. Ever since online gambling came to be, really, affiliates came right after that and have been a major generator of traffic for the industry over the years. And they're also a generator of traffic in a number of other industries. Like maybe you search sometimes for information about credit cards and you happen upon a blog that is comparing the benefits of 3 different credit cards, and at the bottom of the blog has big buttons to sign up for each of those credit cards. That would be an affiliate site where they're getting paid a fee for sending new credit card customers. Or when you see a blog promoting products and having links to purchase those products on Amazon, that blog is being paid for sales that happen on Amazon after people click their links. So affiliate marketing is everywhere. And if you're looking for it, you're sure to notice it all around the internet.
Well, you touched on my next question. I mean, how important are affiliates for the gambling industry in the U.S.? I mean, is it a crucial aspect of their marketing budget?
Well, affiliates have been important in the industry for as long as the industry has existed. And the level of importance has kind of gone up and down in various markets depending on a number of factors, including how much other advertising and what types of other advertising are allowed. For example, when much of the U.S. was no longer able to advertise online poker on television in the late 2000s, affiliates became an even more important stream of new customers for the online poker sites because they couldn't advertise on TV or effectively advertise on TV anymore. And so when events like that happen, affiliates become more important. Now in the U.S., because this activity is starting to become very mainstream, particularly sports betting, you're seeing a lot more traditional forms of advertising, TV advertising, sponsorships, partnerships with sports teams, finding ways to get into bigger and more legacy media. But at the same time, affiliates always play an important role. And the reason they play an important role is because so many of the customers that are looking to gamble online or to participate in any online activity are using search engines to find the right choices for them, to find out information and to find out where they should play. And when they're searching those things, they're not necessarily searching for a brand that they've already heard of or searching to join a specific operator. Often they're just searching for information. Sometimes they're searching for information about which operators are available or which operators are offering things that they are looking for. And the more educational affiliates exist out there, and that's the trend that affiliates have taken, trying to be educational to customers. The more important they become to the operators that they're promoting.
Hold that thought, and we'll be right back with more House of Cards right after this quick break. Supercharge your productivity at home or work with the Life Hack Pack from More Labs. Use promo code Radio15 at morelabs.com to get 15% off your first purchase of the Life Hack Pack or any of their other great products. That's promo code Radio15 to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off your first purchase at morelabs.com. The Life Hack Pack from More Labs. Drink smart with morning recovery, sleep easy with Dreamwell, and get more done with Liquid Focus. You can finally do it all with help from More Labs. Stick around, we'll be right back with House of Cards.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-515-1558. 800-515-1558.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check out our website at houseofcardsradio.com.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Adam Small from usbets.com and Better Collective. I talk to a lot of people, and one thing they don't realize about affiliates is that they have to apply to the state's gaming commission in order to get a license to become an affiliate. I mean, after that initial phase, how does the gaming commission of each state go about regulating affiliates?
Yeah, it's a good question, and definitely a topic that I think most people are unaware of, even a lot of people who follow the industry, because it's something so new. This has not been the way it's worked historically in the U.S. with primarily offshore markets over the years, and it's not generally worked this way in most European markets or markets around the rest of the world, where affiliates, simply because of the nature of being advertisers that are paid based on revenue generation, or at least based on sending paying customers, affiliates have to be background checked a bit more and go through a licensing process. And that process is different in each state in the U.S. right now. As we've now got a number of different states doing online sports betting and a few doing online casino and online poker. we're seeing a number of different ways that states are handling this. In New Jersey, for example, which was for a long time the only state where you could get an affiliate license, or at least where you could get a basic affiliate license. Nevada had something, but it was a little bit different. Anyway, in New Jersey, the process to become what's known as a CPA affiliate, in other words, an affiliate that gets paid simply for sending new customers each time they send a customer rather than a percentage of revenue, those kinds of affiliates had a very simple licensing process in New Jersey and continue to. There's basically just a couple of forms that you got to fill out, and they want a list of the owners of your company, and they do background checks and make sure no one has a criminal record and isn't mobbed up and things like that. To become a revenue share affiliate in New Jersey, however, there is a lot more money and lawyer time involved. And that's a trend across the states. Becoming a revenue share affiliate is a more intensive process just due to the nature of receiving a percentage, effectively being a percentage of the house for the customers you send. Now, if you look at Pennsylvania, there is quite a bit more cost and effort going into even becoming a CPA affiliate. And to become a rev share affiliate, it's quite a bit more intensive and expensive even. In Pennsylvania, I believe just to become a CPA affiliate, the fees were around $3,000 up front. And then on top of that, we couldn't figure out any way to do these forms without lawyers. So we spent several $1,000s additionally on lawyers. And then later on, we did a rev share license, which we haven't yet used, but we, because Better Collective has a long-term plan to be involved in rev shares, they're trying to get these licenses in every state that they operate in, and that was $10,000 up front, plus a lot more legal fees. So probably just in Pennsylvania alone, I would say that Better Collective has spent north of $25,000 on affiliate licenses. And when you start to add that up across various markets, it definitely becomes a lot of work and a lot of money that goes into this. And while some people may look at this and think this is government overreach or overregulation, and there is a point to that, you also have to understand that there's a history of a lot of bad behavior on the part of affiliates and a lot of irresponsible behavior, and that this process, making people put some skin in the game and have something to lose by doing something they shouldn't do, in a lot of ways helps eliminate a lot of the problems that can be created by affiliates.
Well, you brought up my next question. I mean, after you get the license, what are the responsibility for affiliates? I mean, after I read a commercial, I always say, you have to be present in the jurisdiction to place a bet. You have to be the certain age. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But after that, what are the responsibilities of being an affiliate? After I give that message, what should the responsibilities be?
Yeah, I mean, Dave, you touch on a basic one right away, which is just making sure that resources to help people with the problem are front and center on your websites. That's a simple thing that we all can do to make sure that we're at least providing information to people who may need it. But I think that really our responsibilities go way beyond that. And some of that is defined already in regulations in terms of really, we're stopped from promoting things based on operators being stopped from promoting things. And what I mean by that is every new promotion that any operator runs, at least in states like New Jersey and Pennsylvania, has to run through the Gaming Control Board or the DGE or whatever the regulatory authority is. And so they're responsible gaming checks and balances that make sure that they're not running promotions that might be targeting problem gamblers, targeting addicts. They're trying to really steer clear of that stuff. And so affiliates by default are not able to promote things that are not allowed by regulators. But beyond that, beyond just what we're forced into avoiding, there are a number of other things that we believe are important, and that I believe a number of the other big affiliates believe are important. We run promotions of our own sometimes. Sometimes we have products that we offer in exchange for affiliate signups, or we run content that is promotional and goes beyond simply what the operator's promotions are. And we need to have a system of vetting for that as well. And one of the things that my organization does specifically on this is that we never have a single person person publisher for any article or any piece of content that goes up on our site, meaning that every single article, every single review, anything that ever gets published on any of our websites always is looked over by at least two people fully. The writer, and then there's always a separate editor, and often there's a third person who puts the finishing touches before something goes live, meaning that we already have this significant editing checklist that looks out for problems. But then on top of that, if it gets missed by the writer, it's going to get caught by the other person. And almost never does something get caught on the second round, just because our writers are so meticulous and careful on this stuff. But if something does get missed, there's another set of eyes that it's going to cross before it gets published. And even after publishing, if there are ever problems, the operators themselves are also auditing our sites frequently. We're auditing our sites and updating the content frequently, and anything at all problematic gets caught and dealt with very quickly.
Hold that thought, and we'll be right back with more House of Cards right after this quick break. The weather is getting nicer here in Jersey, so grab your tablet and your cell and bring Party Poker with you. Why go to Atlantic City or Pennsylvania? Pay for gas, pay for parking, fight the crowds. You can play the same games online anywhere in the Garden State. If you're 21 and in New Jersey, go to nj.partypoker.com and sign up using promo code EXIT7A. You'll even get a first deposit match up to $1,000. Start playing and start winning some cash. Use promo code EXIT7A for great online poker action plus some bonus money with Party Poker at nj.partypoker.com. Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant, and insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day. If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation.
When I called, they asked me a few questions and matched me with a powerful lawyer who knew how to fight for me.
Call now. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-613-4611. 800-613-4611. 800-613-4611.
Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of July 27th, 2020. Pennsylvania has released very encouraging revenue figures for the month of June. The Keystone State's 10 online casinos took in $50.1 million in revenue, and the state's brick-and-mortar casinos, which were open only part of the month, brought in $74.1 million. The partially reopened brick-and-mortar casinos brought in more money per day this June than they did in June of 2019. New Jersey gaming regulators have approved the merger between Caesars Entertainment and El Dorado Resorts. New Jersey was the last of 20 states that had to approve the deal before the merger could go forward. The company, which will have the name Caesars, will be taking over Caesars, Harrah's, and Tropicana in Atlantic City and has pledged to spend $400 million to upgrade those properties. And finally, UFC champion Conor McGregor purchased himself a nice casino-themed watch for his 32nd birthday. It's called an Astronomia Casino and has a 1-carat white diamond in a ceramic ball with a working roulette wheel that spins when it hits a certain time. The manufacturer is Jacob & Company, and the watch has a price tag of $620,000. That's one heck of a birthday gift to yourself. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Whoa!
Woo! I think we got a show. Oh, yeah, we got a show. We definitely got a show. Oh, yeah, there's a show. Hey, it's all about ratings, baby, and we got them.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Adam Small from USBets.com and Better Collective.
I'm glad you brought up promotions because it's very interesting how you deal with the gaming operators. I mean, we just got a email from a sports book, and they had a betting promotion, and they actually said, you know what? It'd be best if you use this language, and they actually gave us the language they'd like us to use. How do you work with gaming operators when they actually give you the language? Do you work with them, or do you use their language, or how does that work out?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's another thing that is fairly new to us, at least to my group, because in the U.S. historically it hasn't been like this. I think in some parts of Europe, particularly with very compliance-minded operators like Bet365, for example, this stuff has been going on longer, and thereby we've got, within Better Collective as a group, we've got more experience in that. We've got a legal and compliance team that is used to dealing with this kind of stuff. So when we do get these kinds of things where DraftKings, as an example, often will send language they want, or Rush Street, which runs Bet Rivers and Sugar House, these guys will send us some language that they want included next to a free money offer, or included next to a promotion if you're writing about it or covering it somehow. Sometimes it's in the form of a disclaimer. Other times it's simply information that they want included anytime the promotion is mentioned, so as not to give the wrong idea about who this promotion is targeting or what this promotion means, things like that. Again, it's another situation where we try to go a bit beyond that even. We want to, if the operators want to put out a certain message along with their promotions, we try to work hand in hand with that and be aligned with their interests. But on top of that, sometimes there's even more that we want to tell people that the operators are not even including in those requirements. And a really good example of this is when we're talking about bonuses or free money offers, where a new sign-up is getting a certain amount of free money to gamble with, or getting a bonus that's equivalent or similar to their first deposit, or getting a free bet after they make their first deposit or something like that. Very often, the operators want us to include things like not intended for people under 21 years of age and so on and so forth. But we want to have very specific language detailing exactly how this promotion works. That it's not simply that if you bet $500 and you lose the bet, that you get another $500 to bet with, but that the second $500 is not something that you can cash out, that you must put it in play at least once, or however many times you need to put it in play before you're able to cash it out. In the case of many bonuses, particularly with online casinos, if you're getting a free money offer or a bonus, you're not allowed to even cash out your initial deposit until you have played through the requirements on that bonus. Or maybe you are allowed to cash out, but there are certain restrictions on that, like you have to forfeit the full amount of the bonus before you can make the cash out, as an example. So different operators work in different ways, and while it's all approved by regulators, sometimes it's very unclear to gamblers, and sometimes that lack of clarity can lead to bad decisions, problematic decisions, unthoughtful decisions. And we're trying to at least make sure that the people who read our content and choose to play on a website based on what they find on our websites are not being deceived in any way. I don't think operators are intentionally deceiving players in a market like New Jersey or Pennsylvania. They just got too much to lose, but there always is the potential for that, just because of complexity of these offers and because sometimes things aren't spelled out in a very clear way that everybody understands. So we try to be a part of the solution to that, to provide clarity to make the whole process smoother for with a new customer.
You know, you mentioned New Jersey, and I'm here quarantined in New Jersey, and one of the things about being quarantined in New Jersey is that you're bombarded by gambling advertisements. I mean, being in Central Jersey, I get the New York sports stations and I get the Philadelphia sports stations, and each one of those sports stations have gambling shows, and they're promoted by a certain sports book or a different sports book, and they all have codes that you sign up and you get bonus or whatever, you get money back or you get a deposit bonus or stuff like that. And it seems like there's one every hour here. I mean, it's reminding me of that time when daily fantasy sports were constantly advertising, and that's how they got themselves into trouble. Do you see there being issues with that as gambling spreads? New Jersey will be the model for how sports books are being advertised and affiliates are being advertised?
Well, first I'll start by saying that I think New Jersey is the model. I think that it's very clear when you ask around our industry at almost any level and in almost any company, people will tell you that New Jersey is the model state, that New Jersey has done the best job to date of balancing the desire to grow a successful industry with the thought about long-term thinking in general, longevity of the industry, not blowing it all at once, but really building something sustainable. So big kudos to your home state there, Dave. I mean, they've done an incredible job. They've also been doing it for 6.5 years now. So they've got quite a bit more experience behind them than most of these other states that are maybe entering their second year now, if that. So I do think that there will be issues, kind of addressing your initial question there about seeing all these bonus codes and all this stuff on TV. I think there are definitely going to be issues. I think this stuff is really just starting to work itself out in the U.S. and that there's a long way to go before we have an established set of standards that marketers must follow and with consequences for people who do not. And we're already seeing this stuff play out and have seen this stuff play out in some places across the pond, where we have in England in particular, in the UK, there's been a lot of turmoil recently over what some would think of as shady marketing practices by certain operators. I mean, I don't even want to say shady. I think it's more just a little bit irresponsible, where there's just not enough checks built around the marketing teams to make sure that they don't do things that they shouldn't do, that it's probably some low or mid-level employee making decisions that impact things in ways that they don't entirely understand. That's what happens, I guess, when these operators don't build the right kind of structures to handle their growing business. And there was an incident recently, just as an example, and this isn't about marketing really, but, well, it's not about external marketing, but I'm betting that you heard about this, Dave. A couple months ago, there was a 21-year-old guy in the UK who was clearly a problem gambler and lost a large sum of money over the course of a night, and it ended up being covered in the mainstream press. And the mainstream press put just a devastating timeline on Twitter of the guy's evening, showing the time that he made his first deposit, time that the site he was playing on offered him a bonus, and then how much money he deposited shortly after that, and then how much money he lost over the course of the night. And they kept offering him bonuses, and then he actually committed suicide in the morning. And then shortly after his suicide, the last item in the timeline was the site he was playing on offering him yet another bonus to redeposit. And this was so heartbreaking, gut-wrenching. I mean, for me, it really made me take a step back. And I think that, you know, we all want to be good people. Like, I want to know that the way that I'm spending my life, the way that I'm earning for my family is not hurting other families and hurting other people. It's very important to me. And while it's not possible to be 100% sure of things like that, we can at least dedicate some time and effort to try to not make that happen, to try to do the best that we can to be responsible within all of this, to bring our heads together and just put thought into this kind of stuff. And I think that will be happening in the U.S. And I think a big part of the reason that it's going to be happening is because so many of the people doing the marketing are experienced and well-funded and intelligent, and not just some 19-year-old in their parents' basement who figured out how to do SEO and wants to make some money, which is what so much of the affiliate business historically has been. Just the upfront investment required to get involved in the U.S. is going to just change that dynamic a bit. And then the next step, I think, is going to be just education, just teaching these TV networks and media outlets as much as we possibly can how to avoid pitfalls like advertising things on offshore books that they shouldn't be, like betting on elections and things like that. Just not falling for PR bait from these offshore sites and not promoting bonuses that or offers without realizing that you're promoting it really.
Yeah.
People get tricked a lot, and we've really got to make a big education effort here in this country to avoid getting into trouble on that stuff.
Well, let me ask you, what is Better Collective doing in Europe? They're doing something amazing with regard to affiliate marketing and really educating the public about it. Can you talk a little bit about what Better Collective is doing in Europe?
Sure, yeah, and I want to preface by saying that because I'm very U.S. focused, I have not been directly involved in these efforts. I speak regularly with some of the people who are involved in them, and I'm aware of what's going on there and have checked in on it and understand some things about it, but I don't want to sound like I'm taking any credit for this because I really haven't been directly involved. But Better Collective has created something that's really a first of its kind, a trade group among affiliates that's focused specifically and exclusively on how to be responsible, how to exhibit responsible behavior and aid the cause of those who want to promote responsible gambling generally. And the organization is called Responsible Affiliates in Gambling, RAIG. It's UK focused currently, but definitely with eyes on more markets around the world.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
You, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
We like to think that we live in a nice, safe neighborhood. The truth is that a burglary occurs every 13 seconds, and homes without a security system have a 300% greater chance of getting broken into. How many homes in your neighborhood were robbed yesterday? You need to start protecting your home and family today. Call now to get state-of-the-art protection. To keep your family and property safe, call the number on your screen now. Representatives are standing by to assist you.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Night. Not thrilling, but night.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you.
For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Adam Small from USBets.com and Better Collective. Sorry about that. Radio has to do its business, you know. Why don't you continue what you were saying before the break?
And it's really engaging in three different kinds of initiatives right now. And this is a very nascent organization as well. So there's growth to be had ahead of it. But right now, the three main things they're doing is, one, they've got direct dialogue with regulators, meaning that they're trying to work hand in hand with regulators to establish the kind of standards we were talking about earlier for affiliates to avoid pitfalls before you're already neck deep in them. The second thing that they're doing is trying to accomplish what's known as a social responsibility audit. They're using a third-party auditor called Gambling Integrity and running this on member sites and trying to just get affiliates to go through this process where this audit happens that kind of checks in on what they're doing and lets them know about anything that maybe they need to be considering changing. And then the third thing is something like an affiliate training program. It's not quite that yet, but we're hoping it develops into that, where affiliates, particularly new ones, but not entirely new ones, are kind of given a crash course on the do's and don'ts of affiliate marketing. And in the U.S., this is definitely going to be a little different if this organization comes to the U.S. or something like it does. The U.S. doesn't quite have some of the issues that exist in Europe, largely because you must go through a licensing process in most states, which eliminates a lot of the more problematic actors that might come in. There's a lot of KYC associated with becoming an affiliate in the U.S., and so it might be that kind of trade body isn't entirely necessary, but we still believe that there should be at some point some form of working group to raise standards. And I would just add to that, I've dating back to 2013 when New Jersey first launched online casino and poker. Just informally, I've been involved with one of the bigger affiliates in New Jersey at every point really since then. And I've had very, very regular dialogue with the other biggest affiliates in New Jersey throughout that time. I've had everybody's cell phone numbers. We talk on the phone, we text, we point out things that we see that we don't like. We've had dialogue with regulators as well, just like where we've reported affiliates that are out of line, or we've discussed amongst ourselves and with our contacted operators things that we don't think should be happening. And so even without a regulatory body or a formal organization in place, just instinctively the main affiliates in New Jersey have already been involved in this kind of stuff over the years. And I think that in itself bodes really well for the future of kind of trying to handle these things well.
Well, I'd say here at the radio show, we had to shut off our comments of our blog and our Facebook, because if we posted something about, coming up on the show is this, we'd have 50 comments about offshore and illegal and not licensed sites. And we're like, you know what, just to be on the safe side, let's just stop all comments about it. So I just didn't even know what to do with that, just to make, if that was our responsibility, if someone else's responsibility, I have no idea. So we shut off all comments just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I think that that's a smart idea. We've never allowed comments on the majority of our sites, largely for this reason, that in an industry where there's a lot of affiliates around and a heavy incentive to be dishonest with the information that you provide, and in many cases, allowing comments just leads to a large volume of spam and creates more problems than it is worth. So we just simply turn comments off on all our sites.
Adam, every time you come on, I have a ton of questions, and Doug just told me, you know what, you're out of time. So we're going to have to have you come on. But like I said, we're running out of time.
No one's ever accused me of being short-winded.
No, I got to tell you, it's such an important topic, and it's such complicated things, and we can do so much with affiliate advertising, but you have to know the limitations, and everyone has to get really educated on the subject, and we could go on forever on it. And unfortunately, we can't. And we're running out of time right now. But I want to remind everyone that you can follow these important issues in the gambling world by going to usbets.com and all the network sites. Adam Small from usbets.com and Bear Collective, thanks a lot for coming on and keeping us up to date about what's going on in the gambling world.
It is such a pleasure, as always, to speak with you, Dave. I really wish the best to you guys up there in New Jersey in your quarantine time. And may we all be able to have a drink together and act normal again one of these days soon.
I can't wait. Well, that'll do it for us this week. I'll see you next time on House of Cards.
Drag a spotted chain across the desert plain. You build a house of cards around a loveless